Good morning. I'm Mark Sekula, my wife Dorothy.
Good morning. Mr. and Mrs. Sekula, what we're going to do is follow the same procedure we've done with the other cases. If you have any photographs or evidence you want me to consider, please have that ready. The county will go first, and so please listen to carefully what they have to say, and then you'll have an opportunity to...
Sir, if you could speak a little louder, I have very poor hearing, if you would be so kind. Thank you.
Okay. Is that better?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir.
If you have any documents that you want me to consider during your presentation of your evidence, just have that ready, okay. But the county will go first. So with that having been said, is the county ready to proceed?
Yes, Officer Bush.
My name is Charlie Bush. I'm a certified code enforcement officer for Charlotte County. The address is 329 and 327D of Tamiami Trail, and it's Zone CG Commercial General. The owner of the record is Mark Sekula. Thank you.
Not a problem.
On February 10th, 2015, based on a complaint, the inspection of the address observed the following violations. Cars, trucks, trailers stored in a commercial general without a special exception. During the investigation, I took photographs of the property on February 10th, February 3rd, and May 4th. These photographs fairly and accurately represent the conditions I observed. I would like to offer the photographs into evidence as County Composite Exhibit 1.
Pardon me. Yes.
Mr. Sekula, have you had an opportunity to look at the photographs that have been offered?
Sir.
Do you have any objection to me accepting those into evidence?
True photos.
Thank you.
The notice of violation.
Hang on one second, please.
I'm sorry.
The photographs tendered as into evidence will be accepted and have been marked as the county exhibit number 1. Please proceed.
The notice of violation was mailed in accordance with Florida Statute 162, and the respondent was given 10 days to come into compliance, referring to the existing violation. On May 4th, 2015, I conducted the final inspection, finding all the violations and the conditions remain the same.
In terms of the evidence, does the county have anything further?
Not at this time.
Okay. Mr. Sekula, were you able to hear Mr. Duquesne?
Yes.
Okay. What's going on here, sir?
Well, I've had many health issues. I haven't worked in the last 4 or 5 years, and living just on my little bit of Social Security, it's kind of tough. I had a warehouse for all these items. I lost that because of the situation I just described. I am on the mend, thank the Lord. As you see, I'm walking around.
Wonderful.
I've waited 2 years for the surgery that was done, so it was just a matter of health and lack of funds to do that. As I said, all these were stored away. I had talked to the Mr. Bush, and he explained, hey, let's just put a fence up there. I says, oh, great, I can do that. But of course, when I did some pricing and things, and of course I can't really do anything, that's kind of the thing. And I'm here to ask if I could have extended time to save up some money to pay for an extended defense, put those items behind her, and according to him, that should solve the problem and make everybody happy all the way around. And my intent originally when I lost my warehouse because of the economy, because of my lack of working, because of my health, that was my intention. But things, you plan and it goes this way on you, sir. That's basically it. I brought documentation to document my health. Everything else that I would say, as you see, I have a bunch of files. If there's any question of it, I'll be happy to let you look at those documents, sir.
That's all right, sir. I don't know that we need your health records being entered into a public record.
Keep it easy, yes, sir.
No, it's not so much that, and I'm glad you're on the mend, and I'm sorry you've had those health problems. Let me ask you: does the property still look like what's being shown in the?
Yes, because as I said, I have been working on. I've gotten a permit. I'm working on that. The big thing is to save enough money to buy the fence. Fortunately, I have some friends that said, hey, on a Sunday, we're going to get out there because people work. These are all working people, and said, we'll do something on it. But the main thing is just to pay for the fence, the post, the concrete. We'll have to rent one of those augers, because that's all heavy fill dirt and it's tough on it. And it's just a matter of economy on it. With the small amount of Social Security, it's just tough to, get thousands of dollars to do that.
And the permit you have is for the fence?
I didn't get it yet. I've pulled it out. I'm working on it. They need some drawings, and I'm in between my health. I have good days and bad days, so I do have that. I've pulled it out, and I'm working on it. I've been, again, I tried to get a fence company, but the cost was prohibitive for me. I couldn't get any finance to do that on it. I don't really have credit cards that I can do because of my lack of work. Nobody gives you credit on it there. So I've always complied. I've lived here since I've been 13. So it was just economy, health, and anything's where I lost my warehouse. That stuff was stored. So if I could have 2 months, maybe 3, I should be able to get it. And as soon as possible, I'm working. I am on the mend, but according to doctors, it'll still be at least 30 days, if not longer. And even then, physically, I won't be able to do anything, but at least I can arrange something, coordinate something to do it and get it done on it. It'll be a couple months before I can go back to work and even do that. So that's just, it's the financial situation and health is my problem. Otherwise, it would have been done a long time ago. I had planned to just fence it. And as you see, there's a fence there, just where it is. Just put them in there and we go from there on it.
Do you have anything else, Mr. Sekula?
I do not, sir.
Any response from the county?
Yeah, I just got a little bit.
Sure.
Yes, Sean Horton, Code Enforcement. I wouldn't call it a cascade effect, but when he does apply for that fence permit, there are going to have to be other considerations that he needs to think of, and we need to think of here today. There may be a need for a special exception, as was first cited by Officer Bush. There might be landscaping requirements to go along with the commercial property improvement. So we need to think about that as we're walking through all this. Just the fence and a small amount of things may not be a problem when it comes to a special exception, but that has to be reviewed by zoning.
How long would that take normally? Or just a ballpark?
A special exception is about a 90-day process. It goes before the Board of Zoning Appeals. It may be approved, it may not be. In the new code, we wrote in some allowances for outdoor storage. I believe off the top of my head it's about 300 square feet by right, but I'm not knowing how many square feet this would take up. Storing those vehicles, not storage, I don't know if that would exceed that, so that's something that we would have to take a look into.
Does the county have any comment on Mr. Sekula's request for up to 90 days?
We would defer to the magistrate.
Okay. Mr. Sekula, I know you've been through a lot health-wise, and I don't want to make this any more difficult, but you do understand that we have to get you into compliance.
Yes, sir.
So what I'm going to do, let me back up. You heard the county, you're still going to have other issues. It's not just simply as putting up a fence, but you'll have to get the special exception, which they're telling me it's going to be as much as 90 days.
Right.
If I give you the 90 days, then my concern is you've got to get started on that today.
Yes, sir. I'm here to do that. And I would say, as I live in that area, and I've lived there forever, since high school, I see the other fences, the other commercial property along 41. There's some with just chain link fence and no landscaping. There's some with other fences, and I don't mind that. Landscaping, that's something nice. Well, you should make our county look good on it. But again, it's just to doing it and just the time I need mostly on it.
My concern is that finances and your health seem to be two primary and substantial, understandable issues, and do you have the wherewithal to be able to institute?
I'm sorry, sir?
Are you going to be able to financially begin your request for an exception, rather?
I don't know how much it costs. I know I looked into, I believe the permit is $95, and then the cost of fencing and what I calculated probably about $1,000 or a little bit more to take the and fence that area in, and then moving those cars and items, basically where you see the items parked, I was just going to fence right around and making it easy. The other small little Opel cars would fit in there, and I've done my measurements. I can get around a little bit, thank God, now, and had one of my sons come over and do some measuring. So, and I talked to Mr. Bush about it, and says, well, he said, just if you fence it, and that's all it is. And I did take a ride down the other side in the area to see what other businesses had, and basically any of the commercial businesses had their work vehicles, their whatever vehicles there was just fenced in, with a 6-foot fence of some sort. So I was assuming that would be all I would need to do, and I was led to believe what the code enforcement officer said we had a length, because I didn't get this notice. I got out of surgery the 13th of last month, and I just got a notice to appear here. I had no advance warning or anything. I don't know what happened, and I'm not blaming anybody, but all I got was that be here. And so it kind of took me to stand away, and I said, fine, we can put those items in there.
Right. Given your health and financial background, with the difficulties rather that you're experiencing, I think what I'll do is I'll grant you that 90 days, but you got to get started today.
Okay. Yes.
And in terms of any other recommendation from the county, do you have one?
The county requests that respondent be found in violation of Section 3-9-42 sub E and Section 3-9-42 sub F16 of the Charlotte County Code, and be given 90 days from the date of this order to clear the zoning violations, or thereafter face a fine of $100 per day for each day the violation is shown to exist.
Thank you.
Could you repeat that? I have no high frequency. I could not understand it at all. I'm sorry. It's my fault. I'm sorry.
What we're going to do is we're going to give you the 90 days that you've requested, with the understanding you're going to have to really get moving on this. But if at the end of that 90 days you're still found in violation, that's when the fine's going to kick in. Okay, so it's going to behoove you, and it's normally I don't give that much time, but given your circumstance, I want to extend the courtesy to you. But you've, from your own admission in the photographs that we're all looking at, the violation does exist. So I'm going to have to find you guilty of that, subject to this 90-day and the fine kicking in after that. So you've got to get moving on that. And so my ruling is going to be that with regard to your parcel.
Okay. May I ask a question, sir?
Hey,
they said about possibly landscaping. When would I know about that, or should I just proceed with putting the fence? Because you can always put landscaping in later on. I'm just curious on that point, sir.
What I would recommend that you do is maybe meet with staff after the meeting today, so that, because you're going to have a lot to do, and that does concern me. So just if you'll make a good effort at it, maybe we get this thing put away, and the fine will never even come into effect. So really the ball's going to be in your court at this point.
Okay.
In terms of a fine kicking in. But with regard to your parcel 402-1034-02002, I'll find you in violation of the notice of violation charges, and I'll accept the county recommendation as modified by my 90-day extension.
Okay.
And I take it you understand what we're doing.
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir. Good luck, and good luck with your health.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it.
If I may, he should go over. He can go now and speak with my staff over in zoning, over in the one-story BCS building. They'll be able to.
Do you know where that is, Mr. Segula?
I'll walk him over there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Whichever.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. You all have a good day.